been well over a year now since I started doing the no-fap lifestyle, and I won't say that I've gone an entire year without fapping once. I definitely have slipped up every now and then, but as a lifestyle, it's something that you get right back on track with. It's kind of like if you're driving your car and you get off track and you're about to go into the ditch, and maybe even you do go into the ditch, you don't just say, oh screw it, I'm in the ditch now, I'm just gonna keep driving in the ditch and just keep fucking the car up. No, you immediately get back on track, you do your best to fix the car up, you immediately get back on track, and you keep heading in the direction that you want to go in. Or if you accidentally take the wrong U-turn and you head back in the wrong direction somewhere, you don't say, oh screw it, I'm already in the wrong direction, might as well just keep going this way for an extra long time. No, you immediately do another UE and you get back on track and you go the direction you want to go. So that's what I've experienced now with the no-fap lifestyle for the past year, and today I want to talk about the 4 main benefits that I found since doing this lifestyle, and the 4 main reasons why anyone should start the no-fap lifestyle. Besides having longer lasting sex, and besides having a lot more free time because you're not spending any time watching porn, jacking off to that stuff, and besides not feeling so perverted watching other people have sex while you whack off on yourself, besides all that stuff, the 4 benefits will start with greater self-confidence. The greater self-confidence comes from the self-control that you're practicing each day. When you practice self-control and you successfully set out to do what you set out to do, which is not touch yourself for the day, you just have a sense of self-control, and that self-control penetrates through everything you do throughout that day. When it comes to your fitness, you know, you push a little bit harder for the extra bit, or with not checking your social media as often, you know, you maybe just shut off all your notifications, or even if you do see a notification, you're like, oh, I'm not going to check that. You know, you have self-control, you're not going to distract yourself with that. The other thing with self-control is, of course, diet. You know, you're just going to eat better, you're going to eat better, you're going to eat cleaner, because you're not going to have that lower willpower and give in to the cooked stuff, or the fatty stuff, the greasy stuff. You're going to stay clean, man, with your diet. So those 2 things right there, and there's the self-confidence and the self-control that comes with that is just absolutely powerful. That in and of itself is worth doing no-fap for. But the second thing that you might want to do no-fap for is just the motivation. The motivation for life. The motivation for life, because it's a cliche term people are using now. It's like, oh, you just get motivated and do stuff. But what does that actually mean? It means like you're not hampered down by these low lulls that people get into. People get into these low lulls and they're just like, oh, I don't feel like doing anything, I just want to like eat and sleep and feel sorry for myself, maybe just watch a bunch of YouTube videos, just consume a bunch of food. And the reason I think that is because when you fap and when you ejaculate, it is the best feeling ever. If you could bottle that up and just take a pill and immediately you feel that orgasm, or you inject that feeling of orgasm, oh my god, man, like you wouldn't stop. You just keep doing it over and over and over again, and then nothing else in life would compare to that. Nothing else in life would even come close to feeling that pleasurable. So like being outside, having the sun on my skin wouldn't feel as pleasurable. Having my foot near this nice tomato plant and feeling that rub on my foot, that wouldn't feel very pleasurable. Or me making this video wouldn't feel that pleasurable, because my reference point for pleasure is the orgasm, which is like 1,000 out of 10 as far as pleasure goes. Me making this YouTube video right now is like an 8 out of 10. I'm really enjoying making this YouTube video. But I haven't done fap in many weeks. If I had fapped yesterday, or if I had fapped this morning, then this would be like, oh whatever, I'm just making another YouTube video. Like, it's just not as pleasurable. So put it simply, we're able to experience pleasure in the small things much easier. Just making eye contact with a girl is so pleasurable. Just talking with a girl is so pleasurable. Just hearing a bird chirp is so pleasurable. Just hanging out with your bros, hanging out with whoever is so much more pleasurable, because you're not used to that totally out of this world pleasure hit that you get from whacking off. That alone, again, is reason enough to start no-fap. But the third reason, I think, the third main reason for doing no-fap is just feeling healthier and more vital. So if you want to experience the true stamina that comes with being raw vegan, and that vitality that comes with being raw vegan, it's definitely wise to hold in your life force. Yeah, you want to eat life force, you want to eat raw foods, you want to eat fresh, raw, living, fresh fruits and vegetables, for sure. And you also want to keep in your life force once you consume it. So instead of consuming the life force with raw food and then just going and ejaculating it out, like, dude, keep that inside you. That stuff will recirculate and go through your whole body and nervous system and just make you feel like an absolute champ, an absolute lion, man. So keep that life force in and you'll just feel healthier and more vital. And along with the first point, feeling more self-control and self-discipline, you're able to meditate so much easier. Get into deep states of meditation so much easier. And when you get into these deep states of meditation, guess what happens? You become healthier and more vital, man. Meditation is like one of the healthiest things humans can do. So it's very hard to meditate when you're used to the pleasure that comes from fapping. You know, meditation is very pleasurable for me. But fapping is like, it makes meditation look like, yeah, what's the point? So put meditation on the pedestal and just take no-fap even off the table. I'm not saying never fap. You can still fap if you want. Just do your best not to ejaculate. And if you're gonna ejaculate, you better do it inside of a girl to either experience a really amazing time with her, or to have a child perhaps, or just because you're like, well, this is the time, this is the girl, this is just what I want to do. So do it if you want, man, but just don't make it an everyday thing. unless you want to have kids every day, then go for it for sure. So those are the first 3 points. The last point I think is fantastic, and that is, again, this fourth point right here. This fourth point is reason enough to start NoFap, and that is a greater developed ability to deal with stress. Face it, when you whack off, it's because you want to get rid of a stress. It's not because you're super horny like you think. If you're super horny, I don't think we can feel horny by ourselves. You know, we need to see a girl to activate that horniness. And if we're horny by ourselves, we go and touch ourselves, we're trying to relieve the stress that comes along with, like, oh my god, there's no girl around to actually get off on, so I'm just gonna do it myself. And how easy is it to go to bed at night and think, oh, I'm so stressed, blah, blah, blah. You think of something that causes anxiety, then you quickly whack off and you fall asleep right away after you ejaculate. And then you're just brushing the actual problem under the table. You're not actually dealing with it. You're not actually thinking through it and problem solving it. You're just saying, oh, I'm gonna whack off and I'll wake up and whack off again tomorrow, so I don't need to deal with it. Now, instead, when you're on NoFap, you don't have that escape route, so you actually deal with it. You actually maybe call up the person, or you send them an email, or you go take action on what you're supposed to deal with, or you brainstorm it out on paper, you map it all out. You know, you actually do something productive. You do something very healthy and proactive, rather than just keep brushing it under the table with fapping. So those are really the 4 main benefits in a nutshell. You know, there are certain things you can do every single day to feel great, and there are certain things you can do every single day to feel like a piece of shit. And fapping is one of those things that you can do every day to feel like a piece of shit. So if your life's not feeling as good as it should feel, give NoFap a go, man. There's no way it can bring you down. It can only lift you up. You're only holding in greater life force, you know. And then when you're ready to give it to someone, give it to that someone, or just continue holding it in until you decide what else you want to do with it. Maybe you want to put it in a freaking sperm bank or something. I don't know. It's your choice. It's your cum. It's your sperm. It's your jizz. Whatever. But I gotta say, man, just having that self-control just trumps everything. Life is just so much more beautiful when you're in control of your mind. If you can't control your mind, you're not gonna be able to control your life. And the only reason people are fapping all the time is because they can't control their mind. They're just like, stress, immediately deal with it. We do some more research on the benefits of NoFap. There are thousands, there are countless benefits. And people say, oh, but Ted, there's so many benefits of fapping. Yeah, there are benefits of ejaculating, sure, because it's so pleasurable, but they're so short term. And the benefits that come from NoFap are long term. And again, I'm not saying never fap, I'm not saying don't have sex. You can definitely have sex. Just do your best to hold in your jizz. And if you're afraid of blue balling, you're not gonna blue ball. Go practice. And if you're afraid of wet dreams, you're not gonna have wet dreams either eventually, once you get the hang of it. Initially, yeah, you probably will have wet dreams. I never had wet dreams a day in my life until I started doing NoFap. In fact, I used to think wet dreams was when you pissed your pants at night. Like, I used to have dreams of me walking up to the toilet and pissing, and next thing I knew, I woke up, I was in bed like pissing. This was when I was like, you know, 7 or 8 years old. I thought that was a wet dream. But eventually, you know, when you're a teenager, or even as an adult, I didn't have my first wet dream till I was like 24, 25 or something from doing NoFap. Yeah, after maybe like 2 or 3 months of doing NoFap, it was just like, I woke up and I had the most amazing dream, of course, but I woke up with just absolute cum all over me, and all over my sheets and everything. It was crazy, but the dreams were so vivid. It was like actually having sex with these girls. But I don't think I would have ever had these dreams had I not done NoFap. So it's really powerful, man. It's really powerful. So check it out. It's definitely you can experience several spiritual awakenings on the NoFap life for sure. So give it a go, guys. You got nothing to lose, everything to gain. Peace out from Vancouver, Canada. This is a tomato plant, and this is a red subscribe button. If you press the red subscribe button, you'll get more videos from myself, putting out content daily about NoFap, polyamory, raw veganism, living your dream life, and much more cool stuff, whatever you want to hear.